This is Charlie Parsons for the Stomping Ground, powered by Well Hydrate. Shout out Well Hydrate on that man's.
Well Hydrate.
Bosh.
This.
And available on DAZN. Sonny, how are you, mate?
I'm alright, Charlie. How are you, mate?
I'm good. This is a bit different to Dublin.
How different?
Well, it's a professional boxing event, for a start.
I thought Dublin was.
No, that was Misfits.
It's still very professional.
Yeah, but it's not a professional boxing event.
Shout out to Mams Taylor.
Shout
Follow
out to Mams
me
Taylor.
on Insta the other day. Shout out.
For what?
Followed me on Insta the
Oh,
other day.
did he?
Yeah.
Nice guy, Mams.
Yeah. I met him in Dublin, actually.
That was our first time.
Proper speaking, yeah.
Yeah.
We brainstormed, what sort of Misfits events I could get involved in. So, if you see me fighting the world's strongest man over 8 rounds, don't be fully surprised.
That'd be sick. So when you're done with the pro game, or if
said
the
I have to be
bag's
done?
right, yeah, I was
Who
going to
said I have
say
to
if
be
the
done?
bag's right and you can end up fighting Eddie Hall for more money than it would take to fight a world champion, is that the path?
It's definitely an option.
Secure the bag.
Nah, just have fun. Life's short.
What have you been doing since Dublin? Now, obviously, the main talking point, which we'll obviously go into, fight's been announced, but you won't be into camp yet. You're still enjoying life, or what's the crack for you at the minute, Sonny?
I'm always enjoying life, Charlie. I can't remember a day that I didn't.
Fez? Don't really have a response to that, Sonny. I feel like you're being difficult for the sake of being difficult.
You know what, that light is just really bright. It's
Is it?
distracting.
It's too late for this. Firefight's done. There was a little talk. I spoke to you firsthand. A couple of stumbling blocks in negotiations. I believe you were signed early doors. It took a little bit longer for Galal, right? Are you able to just talk me through that process?
Yeah, I mean, I don't know how much was sort of waiting for me to get out of my fight. I thought it would have been and should have been done before, because we'd spoke about it 2 months before my last fight. And then I don't know how much it was, the Olympics, with the head of the GB team being your head coach and your manager. I guess there's some conversations that probably get put on the back burner while you're, in the middle of an Olympic Games. But I also do know that they weren't 100% invested straight away. I know that, and I know that for a fact. To the point they, certain members of the team were complaining to people they shouldn't have been. But yeah,
about
we're
the
here.
fight?
About Matchroom making them take the fight. There weren't no other options. And it weren't even like I was running and gunning and chasing this fight down. It was just the one that was offered to me. I think right now boxing's going through a bit of a business shift where if promoters have got 2, 3, 4 fighters at the same weight, it doesn't really matter what level it is they're near at. Put them in, and that's where the conversations have been at. So yeah, I'm not really a hard person to negotiate with, because my priority is for the event to be the biggest and the best, to be honest. I think that's all I'm really in boxing for. Like, I've achieved being a world champion, and I've seen the sport in my mind change over the years as a sport into more of an entertainment business. And you can have the best fight with the best action in, but if it's in a room with not many people and no TV, did the fight really happen? So what I want should usually be what the promoters want, which should usually be what the fans want. So whoever that is, I'm the best. I'm the number 1 in the world at flyweight right now, currently. So I really will fight anyone that's deemed as good enough. And I'm getting a big fight, a UK headline, a British domestic grudge match. I've not fought a British fighter since Marcel Braithwaite. And yeah, I think you always get a bit.
Really?
Yeah.
That's quite mad.
Yeah, there's no one else. And before that, I only fought Farag.
Yeah.
Really, Ross Murray and Farag. There isn't that many, and all the ones that were coming at the same time as me didn't really want to know. And when I got to world level, there weren't anyone worth considering, unfortunately. But Galal's a good fighter, Olympic gold medalist. A friend of mine, kind of on pause right now because obviously we're only thinking about fighting each other. So, but someone whose character and integrity that I genuinely respect. And yeah, it's just, we actually bumped into each other about maybe 6 weeks ago, maybe like 10 weeks ago now. I can't really remember. A little bit ago now, in Sheffield, in Tesco car park, and we had like a proper conversation. And
I was gonna say we had a straightener then.
Nah, like I said, we're actually really cool, and I don't think it's just like a fake cool and really like sort of like wishing bad on each other. Like, me and Galal have been sparring partners, helping each other prepare for fights, and we've always communicated very respectfully. Obviously in this build up there'll probably be certain angles of things that I'll say and certain angles of things that he'll say that will sort of rub each other up the wrong way, but we're greatly competitive. And the show is build bloodlines, because there's been a lot of talk between the two families, and actually first time not with me really involved in that. The Edwards Yafai names have been bouncing off each other since my brother and Cal were on GB and sparring partners and probably going for the same weights and whatnot. And then, as they built up both good professional careers, their names have bounced together again for 2-3 times over different periods in their stages of their career. So all recently until Yafai got beaten and retired in his last fight. But Edwards and Yafai and Edwards probably to start with Cal probably being in a better position when it first started as a pro. They've been linked for a long time, and between the four of us, me, Charlie, Cal and Galal, we're probably 4 of the best super flyweights that Britain have had for a long period of time. So, and it probably will all get summed up completely on what happens with me and Galal if we fight again, or if this is the only time, or that whole saga of many years will be rounded up. So there's a lot of pride on the line, there's a lot of eyes on it. I've got a lot of friends in Birmingham, and it's the talk of the city right now. And I'm buzzing that that's the case, because
when I think you'll have more people in Birmingham than he will?
100%. 100%. I'll be surprised if I didn't. I think it's going to be a great event. I think, I think it's going to be one of the best nights in British boxing, outside of Ish doing the business this weekend in Wembley.
We will get onto that in a second. What have you made of Galal's pro career so far?
Galal's a good fighter. I think he had one fight where he maybe struggled a little bit, but he was learning the game, he was learning the trade, the timing, the pace, and yeah, he's knocked out more people I have in 7 wins. So he's even looked aesthetically attractive doing it. I think he hits hard, he's relentless, he's got good footwork, good chin, good engine. What's there not to like? I think Galal's done very well. I think he was probably kind of lucky and saved the fact that I was in his division. Now, I know he's talking about I'm not a superstar, or think I am. I never thought I was a superstar. I'm known in boxing though. I've made myself known in boxing. But I think he's very, very lucky that there was even a flyweight from the same country as him. Otherwise, he probably wouldn't have got the contract that he signed into. The reason why we have fought so early, this was always on the plan. This was always as soon as he was ready, we'll go with it. It was talked about pretty much as soon as he turned. I was getting mentioned to him. So yeah, I don't know. I've heard through like Twitter and Instagram pages and whatnot that apparently it's for the WBC interim title, but
oh really?
But
no correspondence.
You know, if I don't know something and I'm seeing it on the internet,
no,
I've not spoken to them.
Oh, fairs.
Yeah, I used to, see something on the internet, try and find the answer, but there's so much,
Are you still as inspired by the world title as you once was as a young? I'm not saying you're not hungry now, but obviously things change, right? Life changes, circumstances change.
Yeah, my mindset on what I probably deemed as more important. I'll be real.
Because like you've got footballers, yeah, who lose the love for the sport, right? In terms of you see the bag, you see the way the industry works. You could argue the same with boxing. Do you still feel that same love that you had when you used to fight your brother in the garden?
Yeah, I'll be real. And I get it from all different angles. I think, even though it does come with some stress and it comes with some time spent doing work. Like, look, just yesterday, I was waking up at 7 o'clock in the morning and getting the Ishmael fight with Josh Kelly. You know, the first proper We Want Ish was at 7 a.m. and by midday everything was signed, sealed, agreed. You know, and it took up my whole midday.
Is that giving you more enjoyment to the sport?
I'll be
what
real,
you're doing
yeah.
now?
I'll be real, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Like, this side of things I really enjoy, but I also enjoy just being there for my gym mates. I also enjoy just going and watching shows. I get a lot of energy out of boxing, and that's probably why you've seen me, you know, a week before defending world titles, travelling up and down the country to watch Lyndon fight, then drive back and then fly the day after to go and defend my world title. Like, and they were trying to get me a few days earlier, and I put the flight later to be able to watch it.
I remember
I go there and I soak it up. I don't know. I love boxing. I love fighting.
I remember last year you were in Orlando, and then the following week you were in London, and then obviously the week after your fight you were in Riyadh in December.
Yeah, and a couple of weeks before that I was at Ish's fight in Newcastle.
Precisely.
In his corner, all in my camp. Like, I'll be training all week, wake up to my run on the Saturday. When I can get for the full fight week, so I'm not in immediate camp, I get for the full fight week. Like, I enjoy it. I enjoy the travelling circus. A lot of my friends actually are going to these shows most weeks. So
yeah, we're a bit of a travelling circus of sport, right?
Yeah, for real. And I don't know. I don't think or know really too much things I'd rather be doing. Like, I'll be real. I love the familiarity of it all at this point, if that makes sense. And the kind of luxury of working maybe with a few promoters, you know, been a few different places, been around with helping with different gyms and managing fighters. Is I go to any sort of show, I don't even have to look or think about who's going to be there, but I always see some nice friendly faces that I know.
That's quite nice about the sport. Yeah, I get that.
Yeah, and I feel like publicly my name's probably worse than privately.
Don't think it is.
No, I'm talking about just in the wide impression of me.
It's one of them things that if you have a profile to some extent, then everyone.
No, I know, Charlie, but there's not many people that made a profile by like trolling people and going back and forth and calling out everyone at every level, at every stage. Like, I was really quite relentless. Why? Because I had to be, because I couldn't just get mentioned by a built-up fighter in my weight division because it didn't exist. I think at one point my brother was the biggest flyweight in the world.
Yeah.
One of the biggest names, definitely. Him and Martinez. And where did Martinez come from fighting him? Like, and I had to do more in order for the events now to start building around like they do. And now I'm a headline act, really. My only fight that I haven't headlined was chief support on Bam Estrada, and that's the only fight in like the last 7 or 8 I've not been a headline act.
Why do you beat Galal Yafai in November in Birmingham?
Because I'm better than him and I want it more than him. But he'll probably think the same.
Than him?
I think so.
How come?
I don't know, because I'm in my head and I think that to be true. I don't know if it is. But if I start sitting here actively thinking that he wants it more than me,
it's
then
more manifestation than.
No, I wouldn't say manifestation.
No?
Yeah. I think that's like, do you know when you start using buzzwords?
I
you know, like
really
TikTok.
Know what else to call
you know, like TikTok buzzwords.
What? Because I said manifestation.
Yeah, you're gonna start talking about being a narcissist and gaslighting in a minute. That's not very demure, Charlie.
I don't know what that means. I can't get that trend.
Not very cutesy.
But yeah, come on, bro. Relax, tranquilo. Pause.
What did you say before? See?
This man here. I was just interviewing him.
Which one?
Ishmael.
I thought you forgot his name, so I was just checking.
He was watching Canelo, went to bed. You belled him hella times.
That's not true.
Oh.
I didn't bell you hella times.
You pinged me off a couple times.
I didn't ping you off a couple times. I'll go back and see it. I got messages.
You pinged me 3
That's
times.
a. Yeah.
Do you know why? Because the first one's always the do not disturb. You get me?
Did it wake him up?
I assume people have.
Because I don't wake up to phone calls.
I assume
in your
because
defense, you know when you're sleeping and your phone's going ping, 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 ping.
it seems like it's.
Yeah, when you're sleeping, your phone's going ping, ping, ping. It feels like you're getting pinged off.
I'm sure it was first or second call because I was like, "Yo, you're up," and you was like, "Yeah, man, I just woke up."
It would
I just watched the Canelo. I just watched the Canelo fight.
Definitely third.
I don't think I'd ring anyone 3 times in a row, so that's
But
why.
it was the best call of my life, lad. So we'll back you up there.
So you didn't mind the Sunday morning 7 a.m. wake up
I
call.
would have liked a bit more sleep, but I was up then, and I couldn't sleep after that.
Yeah, there's not a chance you're going to bed after that.
Nah, he was shadowboxing and doing sit-ups in his room.
And that one even from a FIFA day, right?
Lyndon
Stop trying to join in the banter. You know what I mean? That's like
doing them press ups and
the funniest one was the under the leg claps, bro.
Yeah.
The video of you, bro. That's hilarious.
Yeah, mad thing.
Ish, do you mind if I take that back? Why does this man here beat Josh Kelly on Saturday night?
I think his physicality and I think his mindset and I think his ambition, his heart, his determination, his skills, yes, but they're not the gulf that I see in this fight. I think the luxury of often knowing 2 fighters quite well in a ring is you know their personalities. Now when your legs and your arms are in the boxing ring, you don't have the luxury of just taking out who you are as a person. Our styles come out. It's our personality coming out. And you know, Josh is always tremendous when he's in a groove, when he's in the rhythm, when he can find the target, when he can make them miss his, when he can sort of pick the moments they're working, pick the moments they're sort of away from each other. He's very good at that, and I one of the best from Britain at that. However, I think, you know, the only time he's been in any rounds of someone that made him feel uncomfortable, it all unraveled very, very quickly. Now, Avanesyan's a very good fighter, but, you know, I've seen things from his, you know, amateur career and, you know, just knowing him and who he is as a person that are very different to who Ish is and what his mindset is. And Ish is genuinely a savage. Genuinely, in my opinion, if weight classes weren't a thing, I don't think Ish would care. I know it sounds funny, but I really don't. I feel like when you have a mindset that a fight doesn't have to be within 2 pounds of each other weighing to happen in this life, you don't lose that. And the fear of doubt or the negative reaction after opponent's success, like, you don't see that from Ish. He got caught a couple of times clean shots with Troy, Ewan McKenzie, and there is just no reaction. It's very cold. When Ish fights, he's very, very cold, he's very calm, he's very composed. And for me, that's a scary thing to see someone in a fight, especially in some of the exchanges. Now, me, when I'm exchanging, I tried to block, I tried to slip, I tried to pick a shot, Ish will be there calmly doing all of those things, but just thinking about hurting you. And how he does it so calmly. And I'm sure it was Bellew who picked up on it in one of his fights, in the pocket, how calm he is. And I have every faith in him that his physicality, his mindset, his ambition is going to make that boxing ring a very, very hard place to be inside. For both fighters, it's going to be hard work for both fighters, because Josh is a very good fighter, but we genuinely believe in Ish. And physicality-wise, okay, forget like scorecards maybe at the top level right now, maybe, just for some realism in the room. But physicality wise, to get in the ring and have a dust up with someone and be, tough enough to actually have a fight rather than, like, I can't see anyone in the world walking through Ish. I can't see it, because the physical capabilities he brings to a boxing ring is that of a very, very strong, hard, determined, kind of savage mindset where he can really go through the fire and stay in it. And if anything, when someone eventually brings him to a proper hard fight where you're not having all your own way, like, I think that's when we'll even see the best out of Ish, because then we'll really see the extra 5, 10, 15% that he's not even having to show currently.
Lastly from me, main event Saturday night, Anthony Joshua versus Daniel Dubois. Is this the most respect that Daniel Dubois has ever had going into a fight? And I mean, look, away from, like, when you're on the come up and you're 4, 5, 6-0 blasting away opponents. And how does the fight play out?
I think it will be very explosive. I think Dubois will come in at times that will make AJ throw, and I think where AJ's been in the ring with him, knows his target, knows his rhythms, he'll probably be more quick to let his hands go than maybe sometimes we've seen him in the last few years. I think AJ has always shown that if he's nearly eye line, a couple of inches taller or smaller than someone, then he's very, very hard to beat. He finds the range very, very well. He throws shots well. He throws them fast. He throws them strong. For me, it's usually when he's really looking down on someone, AJ, that be time we've really seen his vulnerability. Usyk, but more so Andy Ruiz, times Dillian White. In the amateurs, people that used to beat him in the Worlds or beat him in whatever was usually like the smaller guys rather than the bigger ones. And obviously Dubois is a big guy, so just with that and what I know about AJ against people that are around his height, I always kind of favour AJ, because I think he is genuinely that good. I think he just has a kryptonite against the smaller guys sometimes. So yeah, I would always favoured AJ as well from the GB days, but Dubois done a lot of growing. I think, I don't want to use this term with negative, but opting to no longer carry on as a fight, rather than quitting. At the times of the Joe Joyce with an injury to his eye, whatever, and even seeing signs of it, I'll be real, in the beginning of the Lorena fight and the Usyk fight, and when it kind of ended, he kind of just, I've had enough now, kind of, but he has every right to, really. But what I will say is, from the Hrgovic fight and the Big Baby Miller, it's like he's turned the corner in, even when it's getting hard, just sort of staying confident.
Get on with it, yeah.
Just staying confident, and but you do have to turn that corner, and maybe Dubois turned it a little bit later, but it does actually look like he's turned it. So I do think it makes for a great fight. I think both fighters know each other. I would definitely side of AJ, but heavyweight boxing and what Dubois has shown, you definitely can't write him off.
Do you think AJ will stop him?
I don't think that fight's going the distance. No matter who wins, I think. I just think there'll be too many opportunities. Mainly for AJ to start with, even though Dubois can move his feet and can reset and can maintain the range, but it's when Dubois thinks about punching, he's not the hardest person to hit. Where AJ's, if he's trying to be elusive, he's, a lot better at picking his moment and just sort of touching shot and range and finding it. Where Dubois is maybe a bit more hunched over and trying to throw shorter shots, but. Yeah, really excited to it, and Riyadh season's debut in the UK at Wembley Arena.
You here all week?
Oh, Wembley Arena, that's because I usually fight there. Wembley Stadium, sorry. Sorry, Ish, I didn't
What you say?
wanna play down where you're fighting in it by calling it Wembley Arena.
96,000.
You know, my place, I usually fight at Wembley Arena and Ish fights at Wembley Stadium. Me and Lyndon was on the phone this morning going, how has Ish gone from small hall a year ago to jumping up
That's what
over
I
all
said
of
to him
us?
in our interview. I said,
He's
"What,
just
18
he's
months?"
leaving me and Lyndon behind now. We're like, we need to get some stadium fights. We ain't got no stadium fights. Pay-per-view-ish. We ain't for pay-per-view.
Pay-per-view-ish.
Pay-per-view-ish. He's got like, he was, you know, he was picking up the back of the pack. Now he's right at the front now. Crazy how quick can change it, and so
Boxing's
happy
a
for
mad
it I am.
sport.
And so happy for it I am, I'll be real, Charlie. And long may it continue, and long may I hopefully be in a position where I'm trying to deliver the best for Ish, because I'll be real, the hardest thing is getting the offer. You ain't got to worry about convincing Ish to take it. Like,
Yeah, that's what he said.
I think we got
actually.
Godzilla next. I don't think he cares.
He's already signed for that. He's a
signed
minor,
for it.
yeah.
He signed for
He
it.
didn't even ask how much dough there was.
Nah, just say less.
Sonny Edwards, always a pleasure, my brother. No doubt. Probably do some form of this every day.
And I hope Oscar has a good holiday.
Yeah, I'm a bit gutted about that, I can't lie.
I know, man. I need a holiday.
I just come back from Dam.
I just come back from Cos.
From where?
Cos?
Ah, so we don't need.
I was training though.
Yeah, I wasn't
training.
training.
Yeah, but you don't. You can tell you don't train, do you?
Relax.
You don't train, do you?
Why's he laughing? He's bare greasing in the corner. Sonny Edwards. Always a pleasure, brother. Thank you
Parsons.
very much.